At some point, all of us, since we are students, will be going on to the world and trying to find jobs. And if this in this competitive job market that we have today, we were going to need to buy groceries, buy a house, pay the mortgage for that house, and all the other things, provide for a family, many things that we will have to do when we are older, and all of that is through jobs that we need or whatever. But with the competitive nature of the world today, we need to know how to handle that competition in order to get those jobs. So today I want to talk to you about how competition is a good thing and that it needs to be incorporated in schools and it needs to stay there. And there's many safe ways of doing it and healthy ways so that way kids don't end up getting bullied. For my first point, I would like to pose a question. How are we supposed to compete globally if we eliminate competition from schools and kids don't learn how to compete or how to handle the competition? This was directly addressed by Michelle Reed, the founder of Students First, on Fox News this morning, in fact, and she was talking about the educational standards that in the United States that have fallen internationally compared to other countries. And a quote from her says, "We may have with may have to do with cultural change where there is a lack of competition and every kid receives a soccer trophy, which isn't competition at all. Other countries are stepping up their academic standards, which once the United States actually set in the beginning. So we're falling below our own standards, and that could be because of this lack of competition in schools nowadays. So it's necessary to learn these concepts in early in life in order to establish them and then show kids how to handle it once they're older and they are in these job markets. To solve these problems, I have come up with a few suggestions that are very simple and don't really imply any real implication at all, actually. One way that we can solve this is by just keeping competitive sports in schools. In the lower grades, maybe you don't have to keep score, which is fine, but let the kids just experience like what losing and winning is going to be like, so that way when they get older they can handle it, so they're not a sore sport or a sore loser. Another way is the academic side of everything, where you keep the honor rolls and you keep things like National Honor Society, where kids strive to do their best, and that will go on to college too because they want, scholarships and whatnot. So that'll help with the education part, at least with the global education rankings. As for all of us as students right now, I would say just imagine going out into the job market now and not having any experience with competition, going out there and not getting a job that you would like, or even just like, how would you feel? For me personally, I would feel incompetent and I would feel way behind and feel like I didn't have an edge that somebody else had, which competition can give you that edge necessary in order to get the job that you want or just to succeed in other things in life. And this would be good because then I would know how to handle myself in these situations because I have experienced failure and success in both ways, which competition is there to experience, at least in the schools, and it's a healthy way. And then personally, my understanding of competition has been very good has been developed very well with playing sports in high school too, which is more competitive than grade school, and then also setting high academic standards for myself. And I think more kids need to do that in order to achieve the goals that they want in life and to know what it takes in order to get them, and that nothing's going to be handed to them. And then to end you off, I would like to say that one of the greatest imaginative minds in the 20th century, Walt Disney, he has a quote that says that shows the good side of competition. And it says, "I have been up against tough competition all my life. I wouldn't know how to get along without it." And with this is a great concluding statement for my speech because it shows that competition is a good thing and it inspires creativity and people wanting to drive to do their best and to strive. And in order to keep this competition in our society today, we need to keep it in our schools so we can prepare the next generation for their jobs and for this big bad world out there. And it can be learned early in schools, but in a healthy way, so that way students know what they're going to be doing once they do get out there. Because when you're an adult, you don't get too much help anymore. So just keeping in mind what Walt Disney said and just what the rest of us said, it is good to keep the competition in the schools in a, like I said, in a healthy way. So that way it can empower everybody to be a better person later on in life and get and strive to achieve their goals and be the best person that they can. Thank you.